Now, I'm sure everybody has a few question marks about what's about to happen right here. So I said that I wasn't going to do any more Zelda. And this is probably one of my worst Zelda games, so why am I doing a Let's Play of this of all places? Well, to be honest, after doing so much editing with the top 35 Zelda dungeons, just after a while, just with doing so much editing, you can kind of understand where countdown makers come from in making Let's Plays of their channels, because, you just need a little bit of flexibility, something to work in there, just to have a little bit of fun and to add in something regular to the channel. I'm sure every countdown maker can relate to this, and to me, it's no different. Is that I've done so much editing and things, and you know what? I just like to try other things out. Like, editing doesn't have to be my entire life. I can have a little bit of fun and do stuff with you and just kind of keep touch with you regularly. So why Majora's Mask of all places is that a few people have been asking me recently in order to make a Majora's Mask Let's Play. It's kind of an interesting thing. Is that for my subscribers, is that it may be true. I said in the past with the Super Mario Brothers Chaos Edition is that I wouldn't do another Let's Play or something, but I wouldn't really mind or anything. Do a little bit more for you. And then with the Majora's Mask, sure, if a lot of people are requesting it, if they want me to do a Let's Play of Majora's Mask, I don't know, kind of more of a deep deep thoughts about what I think about it, like as I go through the game, or like any critiques or anything that I have with the game. Sure, I can bring them to your attention or something. I can kind of play through the game, but I'm gonna do things a little bit different this time. Is that I said a couple of months ago that I did 100% walkthrough of this game. Like, I had 100% strategy guide with me. I had everything right out into my face. I had everything good to go. But this time, I'm going to do it without a strategy guide. And this is going to spice things up quite a bit. Because Majora's Mask with me, like doing it without a strategy guide, it's something that me and the game haven't really gotten along with too well. So this is going to be a very interesting playthrough, personally. Alright, so we got the game going right here. Alright, I'm just going to be about as boring as I can get. I'll just put in my name here. Jason. Alright, about as straightforward as we can get through here. Yep, me and my nerdiness just taking things completely seriously here. Okay. So here we go with the story right here with Majora's Mask. This is going to be the good thing to talk about because with Chaos Edition, there's only so much that you can really talk about, like with the glitches, just like here and there. And after you've seen it probably like a billion times or something, you can't really get surprised with it and have this big exaggerated voice anymore in order to get excited about every small thing that happens to the screen after it happens over and over. With Majora's Mask, it's going to be a little bit of a different story because I've got like 15 years of experience that I can pick apart here with my past just with this game, and I can talk about just a lot of things about what doesn't really impress me about this game compared to other Zelda games, and I can kind of go through that. I'm probably guessing that's why everybody requests it, so that way they can kind of get my thoughts and impressions with it as it goes along. The first part that's coming up here with Majora's Mask is the intro to Majora's Mask. Of course, everybody knows about this. The two fairies like scare the horse, Epona, throw Link off the back, and then yeah, you know the story from there, from what happens right there. I guess I can kind of give my thoughts about it. Like here up to this point, I know that there's a lot of rumors that goes around and saying that, you know, when Link like falls into the tree, he like falls down into the plant and he becomes a Deku Scrub or something. This is something, it's not something that the game does in itself or something, but this is kind of something that I'm not really too much of a fan of, is saying that like all these theories is saying like Link is dead and that this is like the 5 stages of grief or something, like as he goes through Majora's Mask. But to be honest, I'm not too fond of that kind of theory, because if you think about it throughout Zelda, it's kind of always been like that. Is that he starts out in a different place, like in this one place, supposedly he's still in Hyrule or something, and then with another game or something, he's still in Hyrule, but the landscape has completely changed if you haven't noticed that already. So, like what Majora's Mask does right here, when he falls into the tree and he gets teleported over to Termina, if you think about it, like that's always happened throughout Zelda. It's not necessarily just a Majora's Mask in itself just doing it. It's doing something that Zelda has always done. It's dropping you into another world. It's about as simple as it can get. So, yeah, I don't mean to... This is like my first thoughts kind of about this, like the entire story behind how this setup with Majora's Mask starts, is that I'm not really into that. That's just not my type of thing. Like, you'll find that about me, like when we start getting into the Majora's Mask playthrough right here, is that's just something I can't buy into. It's just like, it's Zelda, it's doing its own different thing every single time. Don't need to make it too much of the timeline or connect it to any other theories or anything. It's just a game just doing its own thing. That's all it simply is. Just like with Super Mario Brothers 2, is that's just a dream world, but that's just really its own place. It's not really doing anything different than what other Mario games have done, so don't need to make it complicated. And yeah, you'll find out that like when we go into other things like creepypasta, like Ben Drowned or something, is that yeah, I'm not really too much into that. It's just like, I think you're just kind of overthinking those kind of things. That's just, I don't know, I think you're just kind of reading too much into that. It's just a game, just with logic and rules, and it's just the same old Zelda. It's just 4 dungeons, a lot of items, a lot of other things. Yep, here it is, right here. You're dropping right into the pit. Ooh. And supposedly Link dies, which he doesn't. He just gets teleported into Termina. If you think about it, like with the Oracle of Seasons and with the Oracle of Ages, this the same thing happens. Is that if you look into the title screen, is that he actually approaches the temple and approaches the Triforce, and what the Triforce says to him is that, hey, we need your help. And then the exact same thing happens, is that he drops into the pit, and then he gets teleported over into his new location. But the interesting thing is that it's still in the same world. I guess it's just kind of more like a teleportation kind of thing. Like, it almost does make me wonder though, like with Hyrule or something, it always makes it wonder if Hyrule is more of like a place around the world or something, or it's just one city, or like one region or something. And Termina is just simply another region. I think that's what it simply is for me personally with Majora's Mask, is that I think it's just being read into a little bit too much. This is just a, yeah, I don't know. A lot of things can get interpreted into this. So I said during my extended video with Majora's Mask is that I wasn't really impressed with where the story was really going too far. Like with Link being transformed into a Deku scrub or something. And I have to say that I still kind of hold on to that a little bit. Is that... I don't know, it's kind of the same complaint that you can kind of have with Link with the wolf form from Twilight Princess, is that some people kind of find it finicky or just something that didn't really work for him. This isn't just the Deku scrub or something, but this is just to all of the masks, just from me in general, is that it just felt a little bit too finicky. And if I find myself like being young Link half the time, then that's a reasonable thing to say that I can't really get into the masks or anything too much into this game. And no, I'm not gonna bash the game the entire time. Everybody here probably up to this point is like, oh, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop hitting my favorite game probably. But no, like it does have its positive points like here and there or something. We'll go through it as the game goes along. But right now we're just, of course, this fairy who has a big mouth, pretty much saying, come on, come on, come on, please open the door for me. I have to say the tail, let's see, is it Tattle? Yeah, it's Tattle. I think it's Tattle. Yeah, I'm thinking of Tail. Tattletale. I always get confused with that, like when I'm trying to think of the brother and sister of the two. Yep, she just does all that stuff, and all of a sudden she just apologizes. Oh, that's one thing I have to give this character a lot of credit for, is that probably compared to any other character throughout Majora's Mask, is that Tattle probably has more personality in this game, probably more than anybody else, because, well, she goes through the 3-day cycle with you, which nobody else does. So, gotta give her props for that, for being like the only character that you can really relate to. Alright, she's gonna like give me the instructions on telling me how to do this. I don't think so. I think I can handle it. Pretty much like the deck you leave off of Wind Waker. Can't get any more complicated than that. Alright, so... come on. Alright, I think I can head over there, but I think it... uh-oh. I don't know. Did I make the right choice? Yes, I think I did. Yes! Okay, made it. Let's see. Yep, trying to talk with that tree over there. Yeah, but here comes some more Majora's Mask lore. Is that I think supposedly I think the Skull Kid like wipes the life out of that deck you scrub of apparently who I'm impersonating at the moment. That's part of the lore with Majora's Mask. I don't really read too much into that. Again, I think that's kind of, it's not my region of really interesting things to really talk about with this game. So let's just move on. Let's just head up to the clock tower here. And then, I think the next thing that, let's see, heading up into the stairs, and then, the happy salesman guy that appears right here. This is, really interesting. Because, this is like the first time, like from, Ocarina of Time, or, I guess all of the Zelda games kind of do this, is that they use the same character models from, game to game. And while the happy salesman guy he's kind of no exception. He's just a character model that's off of Ocarina of Time. If you think about it, like with Minish Cap, is that you can see the three sisters, which is Din, Nehru, and Faror, which showed up in the Oracle games like originally, but they showed up there. I think Majora's Mask is kind of the same way with that. Is that supposedly they're the same character models, like when it comes to Ingo and all those other guys, like all across Ocarina of Time, but well, I think they're kind of completely different people from the last game. I think so, personally. Okay. So I think we can kind of wrap it up here. I think we got about like 15 minutes in, so we're gonna head into the first day, and all right, I think we've hit about we've gotten quite a few minutes in, and I got a lot of things to talk about, and I think that's part of it. So, alright, expect more of this, and well, I said that I'd like to be doing other things other than Zelda, and I am. I've got Pokemon and other things that I've got to edit or something, but I can kind of throw this into here too, and a little bit of something for me to do, and who knows, without a strategy guide, I think this is going to get pretty interesting. So, alright, and so I guess I gotta find that Street Fairy and give it back to the Great Fairy. That's... Alright, so... Alright, I think that will do it. So I will see you on the next part.